up, y'all?
Josh and Isi here once again
with another quality video. As you guys can tell by today's title, we are doing an eat and chill, but we're talking about gender roles today.
Oh gosh.
As we were trying to come up with different ideas this morning, something just came to mind like, that might be a little catchy, might get somebody attention. This generation is very different from our parents' generation and stuff like that, so I thought that was a good topic to discuss. So that is what we're going to be doing today, but first, let's show you guys what we got. We got Chipopo. Right now, I'm kind of on a diet because I'm doing a workout program, so there's certain foods that I'm allowed to eat and certain foods I'm not allowed to eat. Thankfully, a decent amount of foods I am allowed to eat is at Chipotle. So I have brown rice, chicken, veggies, mild sauce, corn, cheese, and black beans. The brown rice, chicken, and black beans for sure on the list of things that I can eat. And gotta have the vinaigrette sauce. Again, if you have not tried this stuff, you sleep, honey, you sleep.
So I basically got the same thing as Bay, except mine is with the addition of guacamole. I think that's it.
Did you get lettuce too?
No, I didn't get lettuce.
Oh.
I just added guacamole to mine. And then obviously we got the raspberry vinaigrette, so I feel like the guac is good. Especially after this workout we just did.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say excuse our appearance. No, we're looking a little rough. We just got back from working out at LA Fitness, so.
We definitely just came from the gym.
Yeah, we were like, we gotta crank out a video for them for the weekend. Can't leave them hanging, so here we are. I'm gonna go ahead and pray though first. Before we hop into this.
Lord, bless this food about to see for us from our bodies. Help us to bless our minds. Help us to recover from a long day in the morning. Bless the people watching this video. Help it to enlighten them. Get them to new stages, new heights in their relationships. Or just help them to get more clarity on what their relationship should look like. Or what they choose for it to look like for themselves. These are the blessings we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen. Alright, so my question to you is, what do you think gender roles is? What is gender role definition to you in your head?
When you look at a household, basically determining natural assignments to certain genders. It's like, it's a given.
That's what it means to you? Or?
Yeah, basically like, shouldn't have to ask.
Like, because that's your gender, you should do it.
Yeah,
that's what you get from that.
Your gender role. Strictly off the fact that you're a female or I'm a male, like that's your role.
Do you believe in gender roles?
In certain things. Very specific cases, yes. Like I would never ask you to be the protector of the household. If there was danger, I would not be like, babe,
go out the hallway.
Handle that, please. So there's definitely that. I believe that men should obviously be the protectors of the household. That's why we're innately stronger by like nature's standards. We're just naturally like bigger, more physical beings. I.e., I feel like they should be the protectors of the household. That's just a given. Women are the mothers. Not to say that like you have to be a stay-at-home mom, but I can't bear a child. So obviously you have to be
the gender role is to bear. You think that's... I'm turned down. I'm interested. I do.
At some point, if kids are involved, there will come a time where you will have to be at home with the child. Because I can't breastfeed.
You're talking about me?
Yes. There's at some point, like after post-birth, there's at least a period, 3-4 months if you have it, that you have to be with that child in order for that child to develop.
Get the proper nutrients.
Yes, the proper nutrients and development.
I don't feel like, so let's look up the definition of gender roles. I see where you're going with it of why you think it is, but I feel like it's more superficial. Like the definition of it is more superficial than like.
Oh, I know that.
As far as me having to be the one to be with the baby after I have it, that's kind of like an obvious thing. Whereas like, to me, gender roles is something that like society assigned to each gender, not based off what their bodies are made to do. Like my body is made to give birth and breastfeed and stuff like that. But like my body's not made to wash dishes or made to cook. You know what I'm trying to say? That's what I think of when I think of gender roles. I want to say that the definition on Google says, gender role is a social role encompassing a range of behaviors and attitudes that are generally considered acceptable, appropriate, or desirable for people based on their biological or perceived sex. Behaviors, values, and attitudes that society considers appropriate. See, that's why I said, I see where you're going with that, but I think gender roles, the definition more so has to do with like societal based things. So when I think of gender roles, especially like old school gender roles, I think as the woman, I'm supposed to be the one to cook and clean, nurture the kids. Like that's what society establishes like my gender roles.
Yeah, but I thought when you initially asked that question, I thought you were asking me my definition.
Yeah, I did. And then I was saying what I think I asked your second one too. I wanted your original definition. I don't know how we got into women being the child bearer or whatever.
I just said naturally, that's like a natural physical thing. It's like obvious.
But that's not considered a gender role because it's obvious. You know what I mean?
I feel that. In this relationship, I just don't feel comfortable with you doing laborious tasks. When we got into a house, there was a tree that needed to be cut down. I'm not gonna tag you and be like, hey, you wanna cut the tree down? Or like mowing the lawn. I don't know. I feel like a man's supposed to mow his lawn.
So you do but don't believe in it.
I do but don't.
Or do you believe in it?
I assign myself manly gender role. Like I want to take out the trash. I don't want you touching any trash. Queens don't need to be touching trash. Queens don't need to be touching doors. Anything that has to do with like excessive labor, I'll take on.
Have you always felt this way, or is this like a new grown man Josh energy?
That's how I've been raised. Like my mom, she would not touch the lawnmower. She would not touch the garbage. If it included like super hard labor, my dad was either doing it or he was assigning it to one of us. There's 3 boys and a dad. Like there should be no reason why she had to do any kind of labor.
The reason I asked you that is because I do feel like you've always been a gentleman in that department for the most part, but something within like the last year or so, you seem a lot more like conscious of it. Conscious isn't the word. I cannot think of the word right now, but like you're adamant now. Do not touch the door. Do not carry anything. You haven't always been like that. That's why I asked you. Is this like a new thing, or is this something you've always, like what was the turn that made you more adamant at this point? There'd be times in the past, like in college or whatever, I would be carrying my own bags and like it wasn't a big deal to you. But now you don't let me touch really anything. I
feel like we're moving into a different phase of life. Obviously, marriage on the line and stuff like that moving forward. So I feel as though to say you're manifesting something like that is kind of like stupid, because like I can obviously just go buy a ring and be like,
how you know?
You say yes.
How you know?
Don't play.
You don't know.
Don't play. Say yes. But I just want to like get to that point where like
you want to do hubby duties before your actual husband, like getting the swing of things.
Kind of. It's almost like getting a head start on it. Not to say like I'm trying to like play my hand and give you everything that a wife deserves too soon. Just like you don't want to give me everything that a husband deserves, like we're not living together, like stuff like that. But I do want to like start getting in the mind frame of like a good husband. And I do want to be able to cater to you and make sure that like you don't feel like you're overworking. Like I don't know. I feel like a queen should not have to feel like they're breaking their back every day. You know?
Thanks, babe.
Yeah. And I mean, I kind of like the roles assigned to me. Like labor stuff kind of entertains me. Like mowing the lawn, or like taking out the trash, or like cutting down a tree. I don't know. It helps me embrace my like
masculinity
type thing.
What the hell is that? Mario.
Masculinity. Yeah, it just helps me feel more manly when I can do stuff like that. Like, nah, you're not touching the groceries. It's all good. Or like, nah, don't touch the door. It's all good. I got it. I like being a gentleman. I also like being
a butt.
I like being a butt. But for the most part, I try and maintain that gentleman status just because I saw it a lot growing up. I feel like that was a great example that my dad showed for me. So I wanted to carry that on into this relationship. And I don't want my son to ever think to himself that he should make a woman mow the lawn or like take out the trash. I don't want that example to ever be set. Women are delicate.
Delicate flower.
Delicate flowers.
No, I appreciate it. I think it's interesting too. What made me come up with this topic is me and you kind of came from 2 different backgrounds in terms of gender roles. Yours with your dad being the provider and the gentleman and stuff like that. Not that mine wasn't, but he was sick. So I came from more so a background of my mom having to be strong and independent on her own, having to mow the lawn and shovel the snow and stuff like that because my dad was sick or he had passed away by that time. So I think that it's just a very interesting topic to discuss as a whole, and then also how we blend that together for our future. It's just a very interesting thing. I'm
not even gonna flex. My family for a good while had the very stereotypical modern family gender role relationship. My mom stayed at home with the kids. My dad went out and made the money. They came together on discipline, and then my dad was like the authoritative directional figure.
I remember
my mom was the support system.
That's talking about this in the beginning of our relationship.
Now, granted, my dad wore the pants. My mother controlled the zipper.
Yes.
His decision making was based on her happiness. Most times when I would go to my dad for something, the first thing that comes out his mouth is, "What did your mother say?" Because I'm not finna hear it from your mother. So like, I like that about their relationship, that they just came to the agreement on it. It'd be one thing if like she was very unhappy in that position and then like but she was comfortable with that position.
Of being like a stay-at-home submissive wife.
I feel like they discussed it and they established that and they were both okay with it. So kudos. Just coming from the sense that like you're from a whole different mind.
My paradigm was different.
Your paradigm was just totally different. You were raised by a single mother. She was very hardworking, laborious, so like you feel like you can do the same things. and essentially just take care of business like she took care of business. I don't think that you should have to, because I want to do that for you. I don't think you should have to do that. Now, if you want to cook me some meals, I'm all for it. I like cooking though, so like,
you're very different than the typical gender role of a man, because you do the stuff that gender role men do anyway, but you also do more.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like, I don't know, I'm naturally wired to be doing something most of my day. I kind of get lost in the sauce if I have nothing to do. Like yesterday, I just cleaned the kitchen because I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I just gotta clean something. I don't know. I'm just lost in the sauce. I'm very particular about my food, so
yeah, you are.
So I cook it, and you like it.
I do.
So it works.
Do you think that I do any gender role stuff?
I don't really know.
I don't either.
I don't feel, cause like, I mean, you don't do my laundry. We go back.
I'll sometimes do it, but it's very rare.
Yeah.
Like if your sheets need to be washed. But actually, I don't really wash your clothes unless I wash them with mine.
Yeah. You help clean a lot.
I do like cleaning, but I don't view it as like a gender.
I don't feel that's a gender role because we end up tag teaming cleaning most of the time.
That, and we haven't had our own place together like that, where I would know if I'm the one that cleans the place. That's my role. And even when we do officially live together, I don't think it would be like that.
Because I would never be like, hey, my room's dirty. You got me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to look up what gender roles for females supposedly are. I don't know if I do any.
To be honest, I don't really think we have gender roles in this relationship.
But you do take out the trash and you do carry the bags and stuff.
Yeah. It's not because you told me to. It's just because I assigned it to myself. Honestly, to be honest with y'all, we haven't discussed gender roles. We haven't even established gender roles either.
We just do what we do and it works?
Yeah. We kind of just like innately do what we normally do and it kind of works out. I've never been like, hey, you know, you ready to be a stay-at-home mom? That was year one.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
That was year one.
Oh, you were serious too.
Year one, I was dead serious about like, yeah, I'm gonna take care of both of us. You can just chill at home. That'd have been a stupid mistake.
I remember we had that talk. He was so serious.
I was like, yeah.
Like, my mom did it. I was like, okay. What that mean to me? You think I went to school for 12 years to just be at home? I remember having that talk with you.
I think that was the one and only discussion we had on gender roles. And then once we established that you're not a stay-at-home mom, everything just got split up. Turns on dishes.
I mean, technically, I'm still probably going to be a stay-at-home mom. By the time we have kids, we'll probably be entrepreneurs that can work from home.
That'd be lovely. I would love to be a working stay-at-home dad. Because I don't like babysitters. I don't trust daycares. I don't know what they be practicing. If I don't get like footage from there, I don't know. Right? I don't know. I want access to the cameras. That's what I want. Like, you know how you can like look at the cameras on your phone? I want to be able to look at the cameras on my phone and make sure my kids being taken care of.
Do you think that we haven't had established gender roles in our relationship because we're not married and don't have kids? I think it's gonna change when that stuff changes for us.
No. As a couple, I feel like we're headstrong. So I feel like there might come a point where it'd be like, hey, you should do this, and then we'll just end up going back and forth, and then we'll both like equally do it. Like changing diapers. You are not finna sit there and change every diaper. It's just not gonna happen. Just knowing you, knowing me, like it's just not gonna happen. Yeah. I don't want to just put that on you.
You want to be hands-on.
Yeah, I want to be hands-on.
Generations have changed. Another definition of gender roles, it says gender roles in society means how we're expected to act, speak, dress, groom, and conduct ourselves based upon our assigned sex. For example, girls and women are generally expected to dress in typically feminine ways and be polite, accommodating, and nurturing. Times have changed. Things aren't really like that as much anymore. And not all women are polite, not all women are accommodating, and not all women are nurturing.
Yeah, that's definitely not true about society.
But that's what's expected of girls and women.
So what exactly is expected of men?
Men are generally expected to be strong, aggressive, and bold. That's interesting.
You know what's really crazy? I feel as though this is me going down a rabbit hole of conspiracy.
Okay.
But society has provided us with like different meals and stuff, or different types of food that aren't necessarily conducive to a healthy testosterone level in men. And testosterone is the reason why men are expected to be big, bold, aggressive. That's where all that comes from. High amounts of testosterone. But if you look at a lot of statistics from like men in previous times as compared to men now, testosterone levels have gone like substantially down, which is why I think that you don't see as many burly big, like you ever notice that like men aren't like necessarily all as like big and burly as they used to be. Again, statistically, the average man has shrank in size and in aggression. Just because testosterone levels have gone down.
Is that a bad thing, though? That men aren't as aggressive?
I don't know. I don't know. There's definitely a sense of more equality.
Because y'all testosterone is down, there's a sense of equality.
Yeah, normally if you have a high amount of testosterone, you're not likely finna take no stuff from nobody. It doesn't matter what the gender is, you're just not finna take no stuff. Whereas now I feel like a lot of men are more like docile.
I wouldn't say a lot. I'd say some. However, this gives kind of a better insight on this gender role thing we're trying to figure out. It's talking about how gender stereotypes affect people. So it says it has 4 basic kinds of gender stereotypes. Personality traits. For example, women are often expected to be accommodating and emotional, while men are usually expected to be self-confident and aggressive. Domestic behaviors. For example, some people expect women to take care of the children, cook and clean the home, while men take care of finances, work on the car, and do home repairs. Occupations. Some people are quick to assume that teachers and nurses are women and pilots, doctors, and engineers are men. Physical appearance. For example, women are expected to be thin and graceful, while men are expected to be tall and muscular. Men and women are also expected to dress and groom in ways that are stereotypical to their gender. Men wearing pants and short hairstyles, women wearing dresses and makeup. That's a pretty good example. I think that's a really good example of what gender roles are to people, to society.
And all those are out the door.
Yeah.
Literally in this day and age,
Things
all
have
of those
changed.
are out the door.
The one that stood out to me most was the domestic behavior, that women are supposed to take care of the children, cook and clean the home. I think that's why I'm struggling with figuring out if I fit into gender roles, because we don't have children. I don't really have a reason to cook all that much. We eat out a lot. We don't live together. And then cleaning the home, we don't have a home together yet. So my societal gender roles won't even show itself really. Whereas for you, they're saying men take care of finances, which is definitely a two-way street for us. We established that. Work on cars and do home repairs. I don't know why men's gender roles make more sense to me than women's. I know that sounds bad, but like home repairs, I don't want to do that. But I can see like if we buy a home and a pipe is loose, you would get a tool and fix it. Yeah. Men's gender roles seem more
set in stone.
I think they just make more sense to me than something like nurturing the kids and cooking and cleaning. Like, I feel like I sound almost sexist kind of, and probably a little bit biased, because to me, a lot of the gender roles that they set for women is like, why wouldn't that be a two-way thing? Why can't both men and women do it? Whereas fixing a car, home repairs, that's the same thing. Like, why wouldn't a woman do it? But like, I don't know if I'm making sense.
You can ask the same questions.
But it makes more sense for a man to do home repairs and heavy lifting and stuff like that. Whereas the cooking and cleaning, it doesn't take strength or whatever to do that stuff. Which is why I wonder why it's just set for women to do that stuff. But maybe it's because you guys do the heavy lifting. It's like, well, that's the least women could do. You think that's why they did that?
I feel as though somewhere along the lines, that's kind of where it's at. So let's just put ourselves in stereotypical gender role society.
Okay.
I go to work 9 to 5. Come back home.
I didn't work a 9 to 5?
No, you're at home.
That's not really a...
This is stereotypical. We're talking stereotypical.
I was going to say, because a lot of women work.
Bring it
back.
back.
Majority of women work.
Bring it back.
Okay. Old school stereotypical.
Old school. I'm trying to work you through why this is the way it is.
Got it.
Okay. So
they need to update this.
They need to update it. They need to update it.
Okay.
But I'm walking you through it. So I work 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Come home, sink, messed up, dishes, whatever.
No food.
No food. Baby's crying. I'm upset.
You're upset.
I'm upset. In the back of my head, I'm like, I was gone for 9 hours. What was done?
The baby could have been acting a fool all day. Okay, I'm with you. I follow. It makes sense, but it's inaccurate in today's
inaccurate
time. They need to like just get rid of it.
Yeah, it's inaccurate because society-wise, now women want to work. Women want
we are working.
Yeah.
Very successful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I say want to, if you want to do something, you're gonna do it, right? Okay. So women want to work. There's some women that don't want to work. Yeah. And they don't. There's some women that want to work and they do.
But I think even now, the women that don't, I'm sorry, but immediately I think of groupies. I think a lot of them don't want to work, but I also don't think, along with them not wanting to work, I don't see them being the type, oh, I'm gonna have the dishes washed and food ready for you.
That is where I have my issue. I'm gonna draw the line right there.
Really?
If you choose the stay-at-home mom position,
carry your weight.
Carry your weight.
So gender roles are about carrying weight.
I feel as though, yeah. I feel like gender roles is basically making me feel like I'm not doing everything alone.
So how do you not feel like you're doing everything alone now? Even though we kind of established you kind of abide by more gender roles than me.
Well, because one, we're not living together. So this is just me taking care of myself.
Okay, that's true.
I'm cooking for me, you're just there. I'm cleaning my dishes, it's my house.
Okay.
I'm cleaning my house, it's my house.
Interesting.
I'm taking care of repairs on this because it's my house.
That makes sense.
Okay, all this revolves around the fact that
this is you.
This is mine. If it was ours, then I would definitely
help out with the dishes.
I would definitely feel some type of way.
I hate dishes.
Cleaning, cooking,
Trash?
lawn.
Lawn? You said that you didn't want me doing that stuff.
I know. I said I would feel some type of way if I was doing all of that.
Oh, got it.
And you were just chilling.
Got it. But sometimes, I haven't done it in a while, but I was surprised your apartment is clean when you come back from work.
Sometimes.
I know it's been a while.
Yeah.
I've just been tired, okay?
But my thing is,
I get what you're saying.
My thing is, if you're going to accept the stay-at-home mom position, there is still an application for that. There's still criteria for that. So,
or stay-at-home wife. Don't even say mom, because some people don't even have kids yet.
You're right. Stay-at-home wife. Right. Some men may feel as though like, okay, cool. You can spend all my money, go on shopping sprees, stay at home, be pretty, be seen, not heard, and just stay in your place. It's a little weird to me. But some people are happy with that. Again, live your best life. I don't think that's cool. If I'm doing all work, then I come home and I got more things to do. I feel like that's bogus. So I feel like if you're gonna choose to stay at home mom position, the least that you can do is take care of the home. You know how upset you would be if you worked 9 hours and then came back, I'm chilling hard on the couch, watching anime.
And the house is a mess.
Scratching my belly with chips.
Yeah, I'd be pretty pissed.
Blown.
Yeah.
Blown. Because you'd ask yourself, what have you been doing for 9 hours?
Let me ask you this. I will technically be a stay-at-home wife, but I work from home. Will you still have this mentality about me, even though I'd be working where we live, but I'm working, that's the key word. I'm not just there.
And I would understand, I'd have to understand that. Because if you tell me, like, you've been filming, okay, I get it. Now, if there's a kid involved, I still wouldn't excuse the fact that the kid's not being taken care of. I'm like, at this point, priorities. I will not be okay with you saying work was more important than your kid crying behind
Oh
all.
my gosh. I think the success of a relationship ultimately comes down to both parties pulling their weight.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say equal, but like it's hard to say equal because different tasks is different labors, different strength required. But just as long as both parties feel like they're not in it by themselves, I think that's the important part.
Equality is very subjective. I don't know how often things are actually equal. I've never seen something like super equal. Like, okay, taking out the trash is laborious. I can't compare it to washing dishes because it's two totally different tasks.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I feel like you just come to some kind of conclusion and it's like, well, I'm not in it by myself. I don't feel like a single parent with a extra guest. That would piss me off. I feel like I just got a lazy roommate.
Very interesting.
That would blow me. Do you think in the future when we do have a home together, do you think you would cook more? If I still work at like Papado and like...
Oh, if you... the problem with your Papado schedule is you get home at 2, 3 in the morning. I'm not gonna always be waiting up for you till then.
That's very true.
That's the like your schedule's weird. If you were like had a typical job where you're getting off at 5 every day and stuff, then I would say yeah, we'd be having dinner together and stuff. I also think me not cooking as much as I want to or I should comes down to one, we don't live together, we don't have a place together, and like space. Like a big thing for me when we move in together is having a nice sized kitchen. It's more like inviting and welcoming to want to cook or lay out different foods. You know what I mean? Like I hate tight spaces. So
I hate not having room to work.
Yeah, and then like the pots and pans, what do they call it though? Tupperware? That's not Tupperware. Cookware, whatever. Just stuff like that. I kind of feel like a nomad ever since you moved here because I'm here a lot and I'm at home a lot, but I don't feel like, it's not that I don't feel like either one is my home, but you know what I mean? I'm not settled anywhere right now.
Feel that?
Your kitchen is your kitchen and technically my home is my kitchen, but it's my mom's kitchen. Let's be real. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And this kitchen is technically mine.
It's your kitchen. Yeah, I don't have my own shit. I don't know how to explain it to you. It makes sense in my head though.
Once you find
Once I get my own comfort, stability, and settled in somewhere, I feel like I'd be a lot more hands-on with stuff.
Okay, I feel
that makes sense.
It's weird.
It is weird.
I think we're in a weird spot right now because we're not at the point where we need to start like thinking heavily on gender roles.
Are gender roles gonna be in our relationship is the question.
To be honest, I don't see it happening. The only ones I see happening are the obvious ones. The ones I was telling you about in the beginning.
Lifting heavy stuff, taking out trash.
Laborious tasks and protecting the family was always going to be my job.
We know better. You want to protect. You want to protect. I got it.
Okay, that's mine.
Okay.
I got that. Mm-hmm. You nurture the kids in their baby stage.
But I feel like you can nurture too, though.
I can nurture. I can hold. I can't breastfeed.
You technically can. There's devices now where it's like we put little boobs on you and have my milk inserted in there and the baby sucks off of you.
And that's, in my mind, extra.
What if I gotta go on a business trip?
That's extra.
You're not gonna do it.
That's extremely extra.
But I'm just showing you there's ways around these gender roles.
There are ways around it. But I don't want to do too much in order to avoid it. I'm not trying to do the most. I'm trying to avoid something that's inevitable by nature. Breastfeeding, I don't have breasts, so I don't need to be breastfeeding. All right, that is.
Breasta?
I don't need to do that.
Uh-huh.
That is your God-given duty, thanks to the fact that you have the breasts.
Got it.
So me breastfeeding a child is weird to me.
Uh-huh.
I'll protect that child.
You know what's gonna be interesting? Actually, by the time we have kids and this is even a conversation they'd be able to comprehend, gender roles will probably be non-existent. It's just whatever your relationship decides. Because I was gonna say, how are we gonna like teach this to our kids? Or like, I think things are gonna be so different than how our generation is different from our parents. Our generation is gonna be different from them.
I think by that time, it's literally gonna be off what we're going off right now. You just don't want to feel like you're in it by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you good at cooking? Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good at cleaning, so you cook, I clean.
You know what though? I'm jumping everywhere, but I forgot who it was. I don't know if it was my grandma, somebody else's grandma. Her and the husband worked, but like when the husband came home, he would kick his feet up, and when she came home from work, she would cook, clean, and get the kids. Like that, I don't think is right.
No, that's not cool. I don't like that. I feel like it's just a teamwork thing. Where things get messed up is like, okay, I cooked, now there's a pile of dishes. You're chilling. You were chilling while I was cooking, and now you're chilling while I'm
You're laughing because I do that now sometimes. I ain't no wife yet. I ain't no wife, so you can't hold me. You can't hold me, man. You can't hold me.
I can't hold you right now. I'm technically in my place.
Uh-huh.
Now, if we were in our place,
Uh-huh.
I'd tell you about yourself.
I know.
I definitely tell you about yourself.
I know.
I have no choice. Because I feel like I'm in it by myself. And I don't want to feel like that.
I know. Very interesting topic, though. What do you guys think? I'm very interested to hear.
I'm actually extremely interested.
Yeah, what you guys' point of view and perspectives are about gender roles. Did you grow up with it? Do you have it in your relationship now? Do you plan on implementing it in your future relationship? Like, what are your thoughts on it? Y'all kind of hear where we're at with it. We just want to feel like we're not in it alone.
Yeah.
So we don't really have like established gender roles. I want to see other people's perspective of if somebody believes opposite of us, if they think gender roles are necessary and like blah 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 blah. It probably won't convince me of anything.
It won't
different,
convince me anything.
But I do want to like see other people's perspective. Yeah.
It'd be very interesting to see.
But I think that's kind of all we have for you guys. Please be sure to comment other eat and chill topics you have below, because we did kind of struggle a little bit with figuring out this one. We're like, what should we talk about that's catchy and it'll get their attention and they'll be interested in? So if you have any, comment below so we know for future reference. Got anything?
Other than the fact that I'm Hydrated Hero and she's African Beauty, and together we're Josh and Isi, and you guys can follow one of us, or you can follow two of us, or you can follow all three of us. You might as well follow all three of us because we're happy, healthy, and hydrated on all three. So go ahead and hit that like, comment, share, subscribe button.
Until next time, guys.
Until next time, peace, love, hair grease, and we out.
Right there.
Right there. I'm looking at it. Subscribe. You want to click that button.
You know you
click it.
Also, check this video out right here. You might as well.
That's quality.
Quality.
Right
Quality
there.
content.
It's quality.
And
of course,
you might as well be right here.
You might as
well
do
be
this
right
one,
there.
because this one's quality too. All this
Quality.
you click anything you want.
Quality.